Storyline, man, awesome. It had like you said, punched all the notes, gave us all that kind of drama.
Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility.
What's up, anime people? We're back. Episode 6 this week. Tokyo Revengers. We finally, I guess, I don't know, I want to say we got into a war, but we got into a battle at least. It had its moments for sure. It pretty much started with, the four horsemen of the Christmas showdowns, what they're calling them. The team that nobody thought was going to work together. Takamichi, Shifu, of course, working with Kisaki and them. So the interesting part of it, though, was even before we got into the storyline, we got into a flashback of how and why Shifu basically got into Tomen. He was pretty much arguing with everybody in his division and everything, and pretty cool. We got a look at Baji again from the first division. He ended up coming back, riding up on his motorcycle, all cool, and then pretty much beat the tarp out of Shifu. I was gonna say some other stuff, but yeah, he beat him up, and Shifu was kind of just like, okay, cool, it's Baji. Their love for each other is different than everybody else's, it seems like, except for like Mikey and Draken. So you kind of see why he joined Tomen. He tells you a little bit of, if you don't want to follow him, but it's fine, follow me. Like, I'm your captain. You're gonna follow me, and that's all you need to worry about. And so it was kind of like a passing of the torch for Shifu, giving Takamichi his like his first division. I guess they were like ribbons, or it was like,
it was a stash.
Stash. Yeah. And so it's kind of the first time now where captain and vice captain of the first division of them two together have to work together, even though Tomen's pretty much out of the picture. And you end up getting them pretty much talking. It's like a moment, like he says, of passing the torch to Takamichi. I trust you. You're my captain. Let's get this done. And it was a pretty cool moment. I mean, we know that Takamichi's the main character, so a lot of people start to follow him in a lot of this thing. And then we get to the point where we're all waiting for the Kisaki and them having to work together for it. It's one of those things where we really were trying to figure out what's going to happen. And you end up seeing a few of the people, of course. Their main goal is to stop Hakai from killing his brother. And so you see him finally in his Black Dragon uniform. Takamichi confronts him. And Taiju just casually walks in there, just praying the whole time in his deep, like, grown man voice. And you you kind of you see him walk in, and Takamichi's lost. He's just like, what is going on? Why is this dude walking in? Because it was supposed to be 3 against 1, and this dude's just walking in like nothing, whatever, plans ruined. So he's like, what's going on? And as we realized, Kisaki is the guy that we all thought he was, the dude that pretty much was just pulling strings again. He betrayed Takamichi and Shifu. They beat Shifu up, tied him up, and were like, don't get into brother ordeals and everything. That's between brothers. Like they want it to play out. They know that if he takes him out, then it really hurts Black Dragon in the sense of it. And then you've come to realize that when Takamichi's trying to stop Hakai from killing his brother, his sister pops up and is the one that actually stabs Taiju. And they kind of have an altercation where Hakai and Takamichi are kind of like not arguing, but he's like, I'm the only one that told you that this was happening. He goes, why would you tell my sister? And she's like, no, Kasaki told me. So now you see him pulling even more strings behind it. And then you get into him where he's laughing about the betrayal of them. And he's like, oh, it was just fun. I was always going to betray him. Like, you start to really see him as the villain that we all knew he was. And you start to see a little more of it come out in that way. There was a few things, of course, I did like where we're finally getting into a battle, the Christmas battle. So I hope it lingers on even more of it and everything. And what else you want to add, Andrew? What I missed?
Yeah, man, definitely, man. So, yeah, the whole Baji and the flashback of Baji and Chifu, you know, like you could really see his loyalty, you know, towards, Tolman, but at the same time, like Baji, like he said, he's like, I'm here to follow you. So it's going to be nice to see the, the relationship that develops later on, you know, like how did he gain that, like such a reverence for Baji and why he wants to just follow him. Like, you know, we know Baji's a badass, but we want to know a little more behind the story. What made him do that, right? Yeah. So, I mean, come on. Is Takemichi the punching bag of this whole anime? Like, I don't know, how is he first division? He's the worst fighter. He can't even fight. Like, you know, like it's just beating up the special skill. Like, you know, punching bag is a special skill. That his even talk no jutsu doesn't even work well. You know, like he can't talk anybody out of anything. You know, like, dude, it was that how they portrayed him is like it's mind blowing to me, man. He first Taiju not Taiju. When Taiju walks into the church and says his prayer, you know, and and then Hakai's like, oh, I'm gonna stab you, and Tamaguchi's like, no, don't stab him, so makes him hesitate. Therefore, he doesn't get the good stab off, right? Yeah. And so he has. So first of all, like, man has strength beyond God. You know, he's holding Hakai one arm by the hand, you know, up in the air like Jesus. But also, too, he goes, should I tell him your secret? Now, That's kind of interesting. Like, there's three possibilities. One, like, his secret is really he's a coward. He's not really, as strong as he makes him out to be, you know. Two, me, I think, like, maybe, like, he's really a woman, not a man. And that's his big secret. That's why he's not as strong, or he's strong but not as strong, you know. Like, that's kind of like the secret, you know. Or three, like he's done something horrible in the past, you know, and he really has to atone for, like, their father. He killed their father on accident or something like that, or killed their mother on accident, you know, with his like blind rage or something like that. So it's like kind of like those three things that linger in the air. You know, so that's kind of got me with it. So I was like, oh, okay, man, like, you know, that's going to be interesting to find out in the future. And then Yuzu comes out of nowhere, and then this boy, Tamagichi, god damn, dude, like, seriously, man, like, Yuzu, you know, like, dude, what are you doing, dude? Like, you know, like, calling out Playbook, you know, like, he is the worst person to have in a fight with you, right? Like, he's gonna call out, he's that dude on the battlefield, you know, that is like when you're on Modern Warfare and you're all trying to sneak attack another group, he's a dude that fires first with a grenade launcher and, like, fucking, you know, I'm sorry, maybe like the grenade launcher and the AK-47, making as much noise as possible, you know, throwing like landmines everywhere, stepping on them. Like, dude is like, come on, man. So, you know, she actually did. He says that she didn't get a good shot. But, like, I mean, when she got him, man, she got him in, like, the pancreas area. And that was dark red blood, man. So, to me, man, like, when you bleed dark red blood, that's vital blood, man. So, I don't know. I think she got pretty good,
Yeah.
But the most unrealistic. I love Tokyo Revengers because I like the action, right? I like something like the realism. But when they get into the fantastical, and he picks up a church pew with one hand and tosses it at her, dude, I had lost my mind. I'm on the treadmill, like yelling at it, dude, because I was just like, what? Like, that was a little too fantastical for me, man. Like, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, that was a little too much. Go ahead.
He punched Takamichi, was like, this is only 50% of mine. He's like knocked out, laid out, and then punched his sister. And she's like, she took it better than Takamichi did.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like he took it like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna pass out, And she's like, and I think she took a little more than 50%. But when your villain starts yelling out his power skills, that is like anime trope right there, 101. Yeah. That was kind of like, oh Lord Jesus, I was kind of like bummed out about it because if they kept it in the realm of like a little disband your belief about a couple of things, just a little bit, I mean, I could really get with it. Like, like he was choking him and holding him with one arm in the air. I could get with that, Yeah. But when he picked up that pew and he tossed it, like that man was like, had no power limit, like, oh man, that kind of killed it for me. I'm gonna be about 100% honest with you, but so she stabs him in that back, and dude, absolutely love this episode, man. It's been building up to it. How many? Raise your hand if you knew what's his name was. They were gonna portray him like. I think we even said it in the beginning, like, they're gonna turn their backs on him, like, not. I didn't think it's like so early because I thought it was gonna be a little wait in there, and then they were gonna do it, but kind of made sense. Like, yeah, they were gonna betray him pretty early, Yeah. When they tied up Chifu, I was thinking Chifu was on it to be 100%. I was like, I think Chifu was like, kind of like humoring Takamichi, Takamichi. Sorry about that. I'm not really like those Tamagotchis. That's what I'm trying to say. Tamagotchis. Takamichi. Like, I really thought like it was gonna be like Chifu was gonna betray him. Akai was gonna Kesai or whatever his name is was gonna betray him. I thought definitely they were going to betray him. I knew them too, but like I thought Chifu was in it too. I don't know about you, man. What do you think? You think he was in on it?
It kind of felt that way with the way it started, Baji thing and all that. Like, I mean, he's loyal to it. There was one thing where it was like, okay, is he only loyal to Baji and he really doesn't care about it? But then I had to think about it the way he is with Mikey right now, and it was kind of like, all right, I think he'll be loyal. That's the only reason why, is the way he was with Mikey, the way he's with Takamichi, knowing the truth now of it. But I think it's gonna hurt him a lot knowing that he couldn't trust Kisaki, and he did with behind his gut, and this happened. Dude, but I mean, you deserve it. You trust him.
Yeah, like he knows this dude's a bad dude. He knows this dude betrays him in the end. Yeah. How he thought trusting him was going to be cool, like I don't know, man. Like, that is the weirdest. Dude, Takamichi, I don't know, man. Takamichi, I don't know, man. I don't. He failed me as a protagonist in this one, like, mega. Like, I really honestly was like, I don't know about him as a protagonist because he is the dumbest. He is the he has no common sense. Like, his situation awareness is on zero. He connects everything so slowly. Like, I don't know if the writers just assume their readers are like 12, 13-year-olds, and that's how it's written, like for little kids. It feels like that sometimes, man, because it's just like how dumb do you think we are, man? Like, in a situation, you see some girl's going to stab him in the back. He has you by the neck, and you're going to yell out her name, like give away her position. Like, bro, that right there, man, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh man. So, but I liked it. Dude, I was in the gym, and when that ended, my arms threw up in the air, and I was like, no. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I need part two, man. I need this story to continue. I was like, cliffhanger, good. I liked it, man. It was a good episode. I think episode 6 by far the best one so far. Like
Yeah.
they really hit it out of the park with
Yeah.
this.
Another
But
interesting thing that I forgot happened was when Kokono and
mhm,
Shishu both said that they're gonna take over Black Dragon for the day.
mhm.
And they started talking, and he's like, "Oh, you remember our secret?" And he was like, "Oh, nah, like, I forgot." But so now I'm trying to think of what the heck are they doing, because we know they're kind of the best friends but anti-best friend type of feeling, like, oh, we work together but we don't like each other. Like, they're trying, it seems like they're both trying to like win over Taiju, but they also work well together because they're both crazy of the way the Black Dragons are. So that's another story on top of this episode, that of all these, I feel like it's like an onion, this episode, where there's so many layers I had to keep going through of it. And so now I'm really, like you said, cliffhanger. I'm really excited for this next one to come up, because I don't know what story they're going to touch on. I mean, of course, the main one of it, but what else are they going to touch on with it?
I honestly think it's Kisaki. I think Kisaki and Coco
Yeah,
and I forgot the other guy's name. You just
Shishu,
said his name.
yeah,
What's his name?
Sishu, Anuya,
Yeah, Nui. Yeah.
yeah,
I honestly think they're all in cahoots together. If you don't know what cahoots means, I think they're all conspiring together. I think they're all conspiring together. I think he definitely knows that, you know, how he betrayed, Coco betrayed Taiju so fast, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, I only follow people with like super amounts of power, and that's Kisaki, like his manipulating and cunning and working behind the scenes, like that kind of stuff, it probably draws him to him. So my theory is that, and once again, not reading the manga, not going any further than what is being shown on the anime. Um, so we're trying to, just trying to keep it fresh, like a perspective looking outside without looking like, oh, we already know the answers. That being said, I think they're all plotting against Taiju because they know Taiju's too reckless. He's way too reckless, way too, they're losing too much money with him and stuff like that. And with Kisaki in there as head of the Black Dragons, it's going to be more stable. Or head of Coleman, Black Dragon together, is going to be a more stable thing. So that's where I think it's going, So that's my thing. I think they're all in cahoots. I think, when he said that, I think they both know that they're conspiring against each other. So, Coco is running with Kisaki, and that other dude was probably like either jump on board or jump off. We're gonna have to battle it out. So that's my theory on there. But yeah, man. I mean, so what's up, man? So how's the end? The ending for you? This whole
and
episode.
this is probably one of the episodes, like I said, when you said it, when it ended, I did not want it to end. I was like really hoping it just gave me a bit more of it. And I really enjoyed this. Is, like I said, you said it best. This is probably the best episode of the season. It had story, it had fighting, it had everything, the artwork. Yes, it had some stuff that we're like, well, you could have done without that.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, it was what we got is not. I didn't expect all of that in one episode, but I'm happy I got it. And so for me, I'll be generous. I'm gonna give it a 5 this episode for being the
Oh,
best.
okay. 5 out
Because
of 5.
I've given 4s, so I'm like, if I really do feel that this has given me story, has given me animation, given me a bunch of stuff, it gave me flashbacks of and everything. I'm gonna give it a 5 for those reasons. Now, hopefully that keeps it going in, and
So I have to give it a 4.5. I guess I'm grading a little harder than you.
Yeah.
Animation, great. As always, the studio is doing an awesome job of not dropping the animation for the second season, because typically either another studio picks up or, they overbloat the budget and now they're trying to do everything artistic. But animation, really great for season two. Storyline, man, awesome. It had, like you said, punched all the notes, gave us all that kind of drama, building up that crescendo to the fight. We finally get to see some power, some action, and we already know Tokyo Revenger was going to have a lot of talk, a lot of story. So actually seeing some stuff go into play, the whole conspiracy plot, and then them walking away, that kind of like got me, like the reasoning behind it. Oh, because I just wanted to see the world burn. Like I that's kind of an old trope, man. Give us some meat. That was kind of that's why I'm kind of like drawing back that 5, because give us some meat. Like, why? Because why? Because he hurt Hinata because he broke up with her, and that's Kisaki found out. Oh, he really hates Takemichi because he's really in love with Hinata. Like that kind of stuff. Like, give us that meat why he's doing it. Not just because he wants to watch the world burn. Like that's kind of like I kind of like Then when Taiju picked up a church pew, I don't know how many of y'all been into a church and actually like bumped into a pew. Those things are massively heavy, man. They are not made out of particle wood. You know what I'm saying? I think those things are solid wood and brass and stuff like that. So that kind of thing, him holding them up by one hand, that, and then on top of that, yelling out his power scale, like, oh, I'm gonna punch you 30%, and like, give some Tamagichi, give him some fighting power, like mixed martial arts, like, when he was choking him by the hand, like, wrap his, like, he's gonna armbar his arm, like wrap his legs and his arm around his wrist or something like that to fight back. Nah, man, they make Tamagichi like some little wuss out there, dude. Like when Yuzu got punched and this dude, he took it like a champ, and this dude is on the floor like, oh, I'm gonna pass out, like 4.5. 4.5. That's why I give it a 4.5. But other than that, man, great episode, man. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to episode 7. I'm just like, oh man, I can't. What is it? Monday can't come fast enough, to give me episode 7. But everything else, man, was spot on with me.
No, I can see that point. And it's very weird because if we remember, like, touching back last season, I mean, he took some beatings from people and he never was this hurt. So I don't know if they're trying to show how strong Taiju is. But even like the wars, like, he fought a bit. He had something there. It was like you saw progress, and now it's like nothing.
None. He's a punching bag.
Yeah,
like this whole season, like I don't think he's even came close to winning a fight. I don't think he even fought back. Like, looking back on all the episodes, I don't think he even fought back once. So
it's always been that don't do it.
Yeah. Whole Talk no Jutsu, man. I don't know. Are you familiar with that Talk no Jutsu? So
not from this one.
that's a Naruto term. So like, Naruto, if you're not familiar with Talk no Jutsu, it's like every major battle Naruto won was never by fighting. It was always through talking and conversation. So they dubbed the whole, like, not fighting, only talking is Talk no Jutsu. So that's how I get you right now, man. Like, he's trying, but it ain't working, man. They're just like, shut up, Tamagichi. Like, you don't understand. I gotta kill this dude, man. He's done harassed me my whole life, man. And Tamagichi's like, oh, you're gonna make Yuzu cry, and Yuzu's like, no, he's not. I'm stabbing him with him, man. We're gonna kill him together, So, That's my thing, man.
Nah, man, it was. I said I enjoyed it, man. Let us know in the comments, I guess, what y'all thought of this episode. Was it one of the best ones of the season? Where could they have made better? What could they have done differently? What do you expect? If you've read the manga, I'm more than likely you already know. If you haven't read the manga, what do you think is going to happen this episode? Does Takemichi finally get some fighting skills? Man, make sure y'all follow us on the network right here. Like, subscribe the video. It helps us out a ton. Follow us on TikTok, man. We're going to be making a ton of content over there for animes, different animes too than just Tokyo Revengers. We'll be doing some Vinland Saga. We'll be doing some Blue Lock. We'll be doing probably Demon Slayer and all these other ones coming out. We have a lot of anime content coming up, man. Make sure y'all just keep showing love. Let us know in the comments also what animes you want us to watch and talk about, so we can break it down here and dissect every single thing that we noticed, because Andrew's better than I am. He'll watch it 1, 2, 3 times to make sure that it's the right thing and all that stuff, and we'll go from there. But much love, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Later.